working. It's taking me like a half hour just to get Twitch up and running here. I don't know if it's because of the updates or what, but I think we're going here. So I just wanted to do a quick review of Alien Covenant. I just went and saw the earlier showing today, and I thought it'd be fitting if I had some gameplay of Alien Isolation just to have in the background. I'm not that technologically advanced in terms of what I have available for me to do any kind of editing or anything, so I'm just going to do this on Twitch and then push it to YouTube later. And if I get a chance, I'll try to see if I can get somebody else to do a little bit of a spoiler discussion. This review is not going to have any spoilers in it, although I do want to say how cool it was that Shaq was cast as the leader of the Bigfoot creature people that came to help the crew when they got on the planet. It kind of really brings a whole Planet of the Apes vibe to the series, and I'm kind of hoping they can work them into the new Predator movie as well. All right, so Alien Covenant. My memory serves correctly. The idea was that Ridley Scott wanted to do a whole trilogy, starting with Prometheus, that wasn't going to feature xenomorphs at all. And then, as we know, we saw things online that they actually had designs and plans to bring the xenomorph into Prometheus, and they kind of scrapped it with their own thing. And then I guess he changed his mind and decided to go another route and wanted to start bridging the gap more quickly between Prometheus and Alien, and that he in effect wants to start pumping out more Alien movies going forward as well. And again, like I said, no spoilers, but just to kind of satisfy any curiosity, does this bridge the gap between Alien and Prometheus? And my answer to that is yes and no. And that's simply because there's enough room of interpretation to what transpires that if he so wanted to, he could fit in more movies or multiple movies, or he could find a way to kind of make it make sense if he really wanted to. And I can get into a little bit more discussion about that later on a more spoiler-filled broadcast. So, primary question or concerns about the movie, or at least for me going in as a fan, that I wanted to know if I had addressed: is it going to have a feel more like Alien or more like Prometheus? Again, he strikes the balance there, maybe because it's a modern film, but it kind of serves like it does give you, I would say, a little bit more of a Prometheus feel than Alien, but they really start linking it together more with some of the aesthetics of the way that the film is done. The crew and everything where they are, even though it's supposed to take place prior or in the past to Alien, it seems like a much more advanced ship technologically. They have overlays of holographs and things like that, which you just don't see in Aliens, and in this game Alien Isolation, which really heavily emulates Alien. Minor complaint about that. I mean, obviously we want to use the best technology we have available. It seems more realistic, because one of the issues I always had with this series in general is I always thought the timeline was way too close to the present to make sense that they would have this technology, that they've had established, that they've had careers, and people have been commonly going to space, working and mining and all of this. So and I've just always ignored that in terms of, does it make sense? Because, we are not even close to having anything like this. And the TED Talk and everything that Whalen did is only supposed to be like in 8 years or something. So that aside, does the look and feel more closely resemble Alien? Yes. So the ship and everything, even though it doesn't look quite like this, it does feel much more like a bridging the gap between Prometheus and Alien, and just kind of the way that the story unfolds, what transpires. You don't have as many head scratching moments, which I know there were things cut from Prometheus in regards to these people making stupid decisions or not. So everything seems kind of logical in place. You don't really have any of those facepalm moments during this movie where you're questioning what their motivations are, what they're doing, or why they decide to do what they're doing. So thumbs up on that. pace I was fine with. I thought I was satisfied with it because I was really engrossed with the universe and how they were setting it up, and even though it's familiar, I like having that feeling of this is a real well developed universe, and at some points I was thinking to myself, I was sitting there, this is almost like if Ridley Scott took some elements and like he was maybe doing like a 2001, like maybe he's throwing a couple little bit in there because you do get some feel like that. So it's really interesting just from a standpoint before anything crazy starts happening in the movie. So that's good. The music, like early on, they bring in music cues from Alien, and that I think really was satisfying, as a fan when you hear that and you see how it plays into it, and then it really does make you give that feel as to what's going on. And there's a couple of little Easter eggs in there. I'm not gonna to give away. You just see it and you'll be like, oh, that's cool. But acting, well done. Casting, well done. Story's good. It's even though it's over 2 hours, you can tell that I feel like they really trimmed some stuff down or cut out. I feel like there was a little bit longer or a larger story that was told that we don't see. And I think that's why they chose to release some of those videos, those preview videos that came out leading up to the release of the movie, where you see what happened to Shaw and David after Prometheus in between and Alien Covenant. You don't see much of that. You do see clips from that in the movie, but you don't see anything really with Shaw, and to a great extent. So she doesn't play a large role in the movie, but I don't think anybody expected her to. You do also see a scene with that was shown in those little preview trailers with Wayland, but and there's certain things from the early trailers where they're showing the crew and they're on the ship and they're hanging out and talking camaraderie, all these. You don't see a whole lot of that. So there's a lot of characters that are cast that I think that they may have felt like they had bigger roles, and once the movie comes out, they're not in it as much. So you don't necessarily have a connection to a lot of them. You don't really feel that much fear or tension for them or loss for them. Some of them you do. So that's one thing that maybe is a little bit missing. But I think that the highlight here, the showcase, is Michael Fassbender playing the role of both Walter and David as the android, and very much expected. He's going to have a different personality for each of them, and they do have interactions with each other, and it's fun. It's cool. You kind of see what they're doing with it. You kind of have certain expectations of what happens, and you kind of not let down by what transpires, and he does a great job of differentiating the personalities between the two of them, and staying true to his performance as David from Prometheus. Great character, and I hope to see more in like a director's cut. Hopefully, I'd like to see if there was anything else that they left on the cutting room floor, or even if special features, just to see more interactions with the crew. It just like, I don't care if the movie's 3 hours. I kind of want to see like everything that they shot. I kind of feel like there's a lot more than we saw. I mean, of course, James Franco, being in the movie, he's like a relatively large, I would say, star compared to most of the cast, and very, very, very little screen time with him. So I'd like to see those other additional scenes that I know were shot. But anyway, I give the movie a thumbs up. Go see it. If you're a fan, absolutely go see it. You will enjoy it. It is a great follow-up to Prometheus, and it's taking you down the path toward Alien. I feel satisfied. I'm looking forward to the next entry when that comes out, and they do just enough to kind of give you a resolution, but at the same time leave you wondering what the heck is going to happen next, or speculating. And that's what's fun. You can talk about it, you can have discussions about it, you can say this is what I think they're going to do or what they should do. And Ridley's always going to do a very good job of both surprising you and giving you what you want, because that seems to be what he does. I kind of like that he will take, approaches on things, and he'll change his mind. He's not going to sit there and always stick to his guns all the time, and be one of those people that's like so proud of what he's doing, or so egotistical that he's not willing to accept some kind of influence or criticism or what have you. Which is why I think he changed directions here, from having a completely separate trilogy of Prometheus. And I hope, and I kind of feel that he will do the same thing with Blade Runner. And that's what makes it really interesting to go see as well, because, is Deckard a replicant or not? He's been quoted as saying yes, but there's always been a debate. And then I guess if you watch like the director's cut, it's like leaning more towards the fact that he is. But still, looking at the trailer for the next Blade Runner, I think that there's enough left there open to interpretation that you kind of really want to do see it and see what happened. Is that even going to be addressed at all? Because it's not the main point of the movie that he is or isn't. But anyway, I'm crossing into a whole different film series here. But Alien Covenant, thumbs up, go see it. And the set design is fantastic, great. When it's something that you don't even think about, you're just totally immersed into the world. They've done their job. Is there CG? Yes. Is it overly distracting? No. It's noticeable? Yes, it is. However, the practical effects are in there as well, and they knock it out of the park. So you'll maybe not perfect in terms of some of the CG parts, but I'll tell you, man, really, really cool scenes, and it's kind of that you can feel it ramping up to a degree, and I can't wait to see the next one. Or maybe even some extra, footage or any little videos, anything that they could possibly release on the Blu-ray. All right, well, that's it for now. I don't have any kind of rating system. I've never reviewed a movie before. I don't even know if this is the right format or what people expect or want, other than me just saying I liked it. But, 5 out of 5, I guess, or 2 thumbs up or whatever. But, it's not 100% perfect, but I felt like this is why I like to go to the movies when I was watching it. And if I get a chance, I'll try if I can grab anybody to do any kind of spoiler discussions. All right, well, thanks for watching.